Hey guys, what's going on? So this is my Random League video, and it's not really a Random League video. I mean, it is, but it's not really, because who cares about Random League, right? Random League is so short. When they decided to make it go from like a week to like less than a mirror match amount of time, it just became such a nothing event. You do get like really good rewards, and especially if you have the 500 gems that you've saved up for this event, you get a free legendary, and you get like a bunch of experiment coins, and you get the rune keys, and you get the orb. Just even getting a free orb is nice. But a free orb and a pick, your choice between two legendaries is crazy. The value is $10. 500 gems. I know that because I don't have 500 gems. If you didn't see my Bard video, I was saving 500 gems, and then I did that stupid Bard video. So, and what's even more annoying is that I can't even buy the 200, which is $5, because then I would have 428. And so I would need to buy the $10 500 crystal. So then it just becomes a $10 event. And I don't necessarily think that this is worth $10 to me. I don't necessarily care about the orb, and like just an extra legendary, which will probably just be an orb for me. The experiment coins, it's a lot. Again, if you have the 500 gems that you have smartly saved up and didn't use it on a stupid Bard video, then it's a really good deal. And especially when you know that Random League is going to happen, then it just becomes free rewards. But anyway, when they changed it from being a week to like 3 days or whatever it is, it just became such a nothing event. Like it just starts and it's over, and who cares? And the only real thing that you need to do realistically is just do the regular rewards. Just do the eight wins. And then if you want, you can, get extra wins, and maybe you'll get a rune key, you will get experiment coins, and experiment coins are always nice. But at a certain point, it starts to become impossible, because then you just start playing against actually good players with actually good decks. And the thing about Random League is my only strategy with Random League is just play as soon as you can. Because the earlier you play, you will be playing people that you have a wider choice of people. The later that you wait to play, like let's say you decided to wait for the last 2 hours of Random League to start your battles, you will only be playing with people that have beat everybody else. Like everybody that have already lost all their hearts. You can't play those people anymore because they've already used them all. And those are usually the free wins. So the earlier that you play, the better your chances are of winning. That's pretty much my strategy. Because beyond that, I build decks that I know, or reasonably know. And what I mean by that is I have this Blade Dancer deck, and I don't think it's good. I have this Genie deck, which I do think is good. I have this okay Treant deck, which is kind of sometimes fine. And then my other two decks are this Twins deck, and then this Twilight Ranger deck. This was a really interesting Random League because there's no scrapper, and so you're being forced to use Dryad in all of your decks, or you could use Robot, not use anything, and then just merge away. I think a Robot deck is pretty good. I'm not running it because I don't play Robot enough, and I also don't like that it's you're relying on the mermaid to cleanse your one robot that you will be building the entire time. And the better alternative to Robot that I will showcase in this video is Twilight Ranger. Twilight Ranger has a cleanse on the 11 talent, and it's super easy to use because any Twilight Ranger that gets a soul transfer when you sacrifice a Twilight Ranger that is sitting next to another Twilight Ranger, you have the ability to transfer a soul And what it does is when you have a stack on a Twilight Ranger, and you sacrifice it, and it's next to another Twilight Ranger, you have the ability to cleanse a random Twilight Ranger. And the cleanse works for things that are also in Random League as well. So there was a point where my main Twilight Ranger got petrified, and I was able to cleanse it from that. And that was insane. Not that petrification is that difficult to get rid of, but that's also insane. So what this deck is, it's Twilight Ranger, Kobold, Dryad, Trapper, Harley Quinn. The Harley Quinn is there to make multiple copies of Dryads, so that you can raise up your Twilight Ranger in that way, because that's the only way to do it. And then obviously having Harley Quinn gets you more Dryads. And then when you don't need to level up your Twilight Ranger because it's at a reasonable height, like 6 or 7, or like 5, 6, or 7, you can then use the Harley Quinn to copy Kobolds to get Kobold stacks. So you're double gaining damage. Trapper, you're going to need to put Trapper in basically every single one of your decks. Ice Walk is a menace. Ice Walk is absolute. It's dumb. And there are so many games that you have the ability to win if you just leave a lot of Trappers on your board. And it's just really good. Flicker is also very good because it clears your board, but also because if you have a Flicker, this is your workaround for needing to have a Twilight Ranger next to another Twilight Ranger. What you can do is if you have a Flicker next to your main Twilight Ranger, you have the ability to sacrifice a Twilight Ranger that has stacks to your Flicker, and then the soul transfer will still happen through your Flicker, as opposed to needing to merge a Twilight Ranger next to a Twilight Ranger. And so that's my workaround. I am running an Amulet of Growth. I think Amulet of Growth is technically the best, but you'll find that it's very difficult to merge. It's really hard to want to merge things. And so if I was to play this again, I think I might just run a Magic Amulet and just call it a day. Amulet of Growth is definitely better. You're getting much more damage on an Amulet of Growth. You're getting 26% on a Magic Amulet. I'm going to remove this right now because I am actually just going to switch it. On a Magic Amulet, you're getting 13% extra damage, which isn't better, obviously, but I think that it is easier. And sometimes having it be easier is just easier. You don't have to worry about merging. There was a big problem that what was happening was I just wasn't merging anything. Whenever you get a Harley Quinn, you're copying either Dryads or Kobolds. And then whenever you get the only thing that I was ever merging on or on tiles were the Trappers. And it's not enough. It's not enough to just merge Trappers on growth tiles. You need to merge so many times in order to get the maximum amount of stacks. And I really wasn't merging Twilight Rangers like you normally would, because like I said, if you just have a Flicker next to your Twilight Ranger, you can just pull a Twilight Ranger from anywhere, sacrifice it to your Flicker so that your Flicker gains stacks, and then you're getting a third way of getting stacks. I am by no means a expert in this deck, and that's how good this deck is. The idea is that you don't want to build multiple Twilight Rangers because it doesn't really matter. The second thing that Flicker does for you is it is able to switch into the position where your Twilight Ranger is, and you're able to save it from a lot of things. Warlock, obviously, if they're stupid enough to use Deterioration, you actually do have the chance now. There was a point when they removed the Deterioration animation where it gives you the warning that it's going to happen, and you weren't able to switch out things, but they implemented that back. And so when your opponent stupidly uses Deterioration against you, you have the ability to just move your flicker into that position, and obviously it's not going to do anything to a flicker. You can switch into position if they decide to use a meteorite onto you. Flicker is just very, very strong. With all of the changes that it got, it's very strong. The fact that it has no cooldown on movement is insane. So whenever your kobolds come out, you can immediately get rid of them. There is no reason to have a single kobold on your field, because you don't have the 13 talent where you gain crit damage based on the level. So there's no reason to have any kobold on your field. And yeah, that's basically all you do. You keep your Twilight Rangers away from your main one, and then whenever they gain stacks by killing things, you just eventually sacrifice it to the flicker, gain defense reduction on the field, and then transfer the stacks and win. This was actually a very close game. We were basically both about to die when we when he died. It went for a very long time. This is on 1,000 crit, I believe, is what Random League is set at. And the fact that we were able to go for this long is crazy. As much as I would like to say Twilight Ranger is the deck to play, because I do so much damage, every single time a content creator makes a Random League deck and says, hey, play this deck, it does this crazy amount of damage. Look at the other, look at the opponent. The opponent also did that amount of damage, and that is also an insane amount of damage. So if you can play a Genie deck like this person and do that amount of damage, well, then that makes that deck also a good deck. So don't just take, you know, me talking about Twilight Ranger to say, as me saying, this is the only deck to play. Always look at the other person's deck as well, because that deck also did a lot of damage. Whenever I play Twilight Ranger, I think maybe 3 out of the 4 battles that I did, I got Friends. And Friends is so amazing, obviously, in this strategy. Because you only care about the one Twilight Ranger, all you have to do is leave it in the center, don't summon in, and then just eat the other 2 squares, and then just leave your Twilight Ranger right there in the center, and you get crazy, that's how you get your remaining extra amounts of levels. So now it's a 5, because at a certain point, Dryads are really difficult. I mean, yeah, Dryads are really difficult to level up. You could run the quote-unquote better version, which is the growth Dryad, but I think that I would rather be greedy and get Fairy of Rage stacks, because that's another avenue of you gaining damage. But yeah, like, you just constantly eat the center, or maybe don't even summon in, and then and just, yeah, I have a 6. If I get a 7, I am setting this other Twilight Ranger, this level 4 up, and so I'll switch that into the center to maybe get a level 5 on that. But it also doesn't matter. I was getting really greedy right here. I should put it on the growth tile. I don't even think it matters, because I don't work hard enough to get stacks. But I did try to, if I was gonna get another level up. Oh, see here, he's using a deterioration. If I was gonna get another level up, I switched the level 4 into the middle, just in case there was a last minute level up right before I killed the Grandmaster. But right here, he's using deterioration on me, and you'll notice the animation where it says that it's going to get level down, and you can switch the flicker. And because there's no cooldown, you don't even have to worry about moving things. There we go. See, right there. You don't even have to worry about moving your kobolds if you have to. I'm just waiting for that deterioration, I think. I should be moving the kobold, but I'm just like, I know it's gonna happen, and I don't want to, like, I want to be ready for it. There it is. Bam. It's so good. Flicker is so good. Specifically in Random League, Flicker is so good. being able to eat your board and gain stacks, giving you defense reduction, giving you slow. That's another avenue for slow. The damage that it even just does, just in general, is pretty good. Bypass another deterioration. Yeah, it's very good. I'm not the best Twilight Ranger player. I don't even know if this is a great strategy, but I think it worked. Right here, I can be pretty greedy. He cursed me, but because I have the ability to just move anything anywhere, I can pick and choose what I'm okay with it destroying. It's like, cool. It's on the kobold tile. That's perfect. Oh yeah, and then you get free level ups with the flicker as well, which is insane. So a strategy that you could theoretically use is also to have one Twilight Ranger on your board and just keep eating things until your Twilight Ranger is a level 7. That's something that you would do early game, obviously, but you can use Dryads, you can merge out stuff, and then use Dryads to get it to like a level 4, and then just eat your entire board, and then just like level up your one Twilight Ranger if you're worried about not getting a friends. Right there, if you wanted to like rewind that, he decided to use a meteorite on me, and for no reason at all, I just saved a kobold. It's so good, and it's much better against stupid people. Using flicker and having somebody meteorite you or deterioration you, it's so funny. It's like you wasted that on nothing. Congratulations. But yeah, like, I'm not even that, like, I'm not saying this is like ultimate strategy. I trust somebody in the comments will be like, you should have done this. Well, if anything, I should have played Magic Amulet if I wasn't going to use this stupid growth tile. But like, I am in no regard like the best Twilight Ranger player. I have very loose knowledge of how Twilight Ranger even works. But with that knowledge, I'm still doing this amount of damage in Random League. And in Random League, all you really need to do is have that loose amount of knowledge for a good deck. I have like a Blade Dancer deck, and I have a Tree Hunt deck, and I had a Monk Blessing deck, and I really know how to play all three of those, but they're also not good. I'd rather be kind of okay with this deck and do this amount of damage than be really good at Monk Blessing and just do no damage, or be really good at Blade Dancer and do no damage, or be really good at Tree Hunt, and because I play it all the time, and do kind of okay damage. I'd rather have the amount of skill that I have here, and with this deck, even if it's not the best skill, because it just does so much damage. That's the difference between like Pantheon units. It's just, or just like new units in general. Every time they release a new unit, it just has more and more avenues of accumulating damage, or having better, or like more efficient cleanse mechanics, or gaining stacks, or just like surviving. And every time they come out with a new unit, it has to be better than the old unit. It just, or else nobody would want it. Like, if it was worse than an old unit, why would you want it? Why would you want to invest money into it? And that's what the name of the game is. Money Royale. This goes for just far longer than I thought that this would ever go. As you can see, like, I've completely abandoned the idea of building two Twilight Rangers. You don't need to. He deteriorated me again. He's wasting so many points doing nothing to me. Right here, I can switch it. Yeah. He's wasting so many points doing nothing to me, and he still does as much damage as he does, which is crazy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run a magic amulet. I just simply don't merge enough onto the growth tile. If you want to use it, you can. I don't think it's good. I think that using just a magic amulet is just easier. Just having the flat percentage and then just being okay with that. I got deteriorated right there. I was just focusing on too many things. So I have a level 5 now. But I have 258 stacks, which is something. I just saved that from Shaman. I could have just eaten it with the flicker. I think it's like right here where it all happens. I'm gonna screenshot that for my thumbnail. I get really lucky here. He could have like bedlammed my main guy, but I also do have so many slows on the field because at a certain point, all you need to do is just have trappers on the field. It doesn't matter what kind of trappers, just trappers. You're getting slow with the trappers, you're getting slow with the flicker, and that's how I was able to win. Sometimes you just win because of that. Like if you're both gonna lose, because at that point we were both gonna lose. But if you have the ability to just trapper your field and just start sacrificing things to flicker to add more slow puddles, then that's all you really need, and then you could win. But I think it's good.